Hello, you gorgeous souls out there. How's everybody hanging in there through all these twists and turns? Welcome back to the Craft of Living. I'm your host, and on this channel we unbox oracles and tarots, and we talk about spirituality and metaphysicals and manifesting and pretty much anything that comes up. So thank you for joining us today if you're returning. Today I have some special shares with you today. We are going to unbox the Memento Mori. I love an anatomically correct skull. I am drawn to them. I really love them. This deck seemed really cool. We'll unbox this in a little bit. But first, I'd like to get to the Tarot of You by Dawn Michelle. Now, she is another fellow YouTuber out there, unboxing and doing pairings. And I have to say, because of her, I am inspired to try different pairings on my channel now. So you might be seeing me bring out some decks from my collection to see how they might pair together in deck families. And if you have any ideas on which decks you would like to see paired together, leave it below in the comments. But she just published this book. One of her books. I believe she writes other books as well, I think in the fantasy section, or subject, I should say. But the reason why I was interested in this book is because I haven't seen a tarot book quite like it. So this is going to be a book of journal prompts and tarot spreads in a journey for self-love. So I have always used tarot in a way that connected me to my intuition and my higher self and my guides. So this book was right up my alley. So many books about tarot focus on looking to the future, but this transformative guide encourages you to look inward for answers, to read the cards in communion with your inner self. Sharing numerous spreads, exercises, journal prompts, Dawn Michelle reveals how your deck is a gateway to becoming who you're meant to be. Reading tarot for yourself is intimate and revelatory, and this book's practice gives you incredible opportunities for deeper self-awareness, healing, and growth. You'll dive into a variety of topics, including, and she goes and lists all the topics. Now, I just want to share in the beginning, she also has a foreword by Mary K. Greer, which I feel like is a great accomplishment. Congratulations, Dawn Michelle, in getting Mary K. Greer as your foreword writer here. How wonderful. I just found her like a couple days ago, or a couple weeks, excuse me, and I found some of her spreads were very helpful in my day-to-day practice. She talks about re-enlivening your tarot practice so that it doesn't get so boring and repetitive, and I found that very helpful also. So she goes into the introduction of the book telling you the structure of what it's about, how it's kind of laid out, but I like it. She'll give you a breakdown over here on the categories of self-love topics that she's going to be exploring throughout the book and what exactly it means. So she has rooting into practice. In this practice, you will work on cultivating a consistent routine that supports your goals and sets the intention for your work with the tarot. And then she has a section where she calls it Bloom Where You Are Planted. And in this practice, you'll look at where you are in your journey and what can support you moving forward. And in this one, she calls it Slow Growing. In this practice, you will explore what slow growing actually means and how you can engage with it to help you cultivate a life and practice with purpose. And she goes on to explain these different parts of self-love: whole self-care, ebb and flow, reigniting fire, conversing with guides, the blank spaces, light in the shadow, sitting in spirit, accessing the inner temple, cosmic awareness, manifesting with the moon, ghost stories. And I was like, what's that? In this practice, you'll engage with narrative, imagination, and cooperative storytelling to explore the unacknowledged aspect of self. And endings and beginnings, which I also found somewhat useful. She says you don't have to start this book from cover to cover, and that you can, pop in and out. You could just decide which one you want to start with. So, and then the chapters kind of look like this. So, chapter 1, and it's going to give you an intro on the chapter, practice of one's own. And then tarot is a personal growth practice. And then she talks about journal prompts in here. Tarot is a self-care practice, and she talks about journal prompts in here. And then so on and so forth. Tarot is a mindful practice. So she'll there's many opportunities here to kind of take which one you would like to work on in journaling, and go ahead and do that and just see what comes up. And I must say that I was so resistant to journaling for so many years, but I understand now that if you want to get over the analytical mind, this is the proof the analytical mind requires for you to actually prove to yourself that you are making headway, that you are doing things differently, that your intuition is getting stronger, that you're learning to take on those hints and nudges, and you're recognizing them so much quicker. And if we fail to write these down, sure, you're going to remember some, but you're going to forget most. And your brain is just going to highlight where you didn't do it right. So this is why we need to highlight other things. And not to mention, when you practice channeling, which can scare some people, but we really do it every single day when we're in the flow. When you practice channeling and you're writing, you get so surprised on what you get. And sometimes, most times, you get so much clarity because your guides are speaking to you, or your higher self. So then she goes on, chapter 2, from readings to rituals. Crafting your own ritual, prepare a ritual space, enter a sacred space, lay the spread, read the cards, journal the experience. She kind of just gives an update or a guide on how to do all of them. Now let's skip forward to one of the spreads that she has us doing. See her in chapter 3. She's talking about deck study, using your tarot journal, creative journaling. That's so cool that she does that. I don't have the patience for that. Creative journaling. Oh my goodness. So seed spread. So in this spread, she talks about preparing for this practice. The seed. What is your relationship to tarot? What is the root of your work? What's missing from this work? What may this work bring about? And what will best support this work? And then seed reflection. And then the stem, how has the past influenced where you are today? She has that different spreads over there. So kind of a whole cornucopia of just in-depth questions for relating with your tarot and essentially your higher self. And for me, I have realized when it comes to tarot, or really actually just speaking with your guides and the spirit world, how you formulate your questions is everything. If you ask a general question, you'll get a general answer. And if you ask a question that is not going to help you, like, why did this happen to me, or when is it going to clear up, and you get the answer but it doesn't help you understand anything, then it's like kind of a pointless question, right? So I love that she has these questions in here that are meaningful, they're impactful. You can actually do something with the answers when you get them from the tarot, and decide to make some changes if you'd like. But that is her book. I must say I have to complain to Amazon. It's not her fault. It got pretty beaten and battered up. They just sent it literally in a paper bag, guys. They sent this in a paper bag with a different deck, and it just got battered to bits. But, the core is still there, so, boo on you, Amazon, for this shipping. But other than that, I'm excited to kind of delve into this and to see where it takes me. So thanks. Now, moving on to our unboxing. I'll just set this aside. Check it out, though, guys. I recommend it. It just came out, and you'd be supporting another YouTuber. So I'm excited for her. All right, so now we're going to unbox the Memento Mori. Now, I just have a thing for skulls. What I mean by anatomically accurate skull, I mean one that's not like a flaming skull. You know how sometimes they have the angry flaming skulls? I don't really care about those guys, or when they have expressions. I just like, just the real one. But it says, cherish every moment. 36 life-affirming messages to seize the day and live each moment to its fullest. To love those around us more deeply, enjoy our work and daily activities more fully, see beauty in all things, and embrace fearlessness as we encounter the unknown. What do you need to focus on to be here now? So these are just some cute little cards I picked up for $12 off of Amazon. And I am going to bet anything that they are AI renderings, guys. The images on here are definitely going to be AI rendered. But let's start talking about this, because how much do we really hate AI rendering cards? Because I feel like we're not quite at a place where it's fully AI automated. Like, there is human interaction and thought that goes into these. So let me know some of your thoughts on this. We're going to unpack it and discuss it a little bit over here. So we have a cute little box, the candle within in the back. It's a slide open. That's kind of neat, matchbook style. They did come bowed, which kind of is, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I live in, like I said, Hawaii, so it's very humid over here. But these little guys come gilded already. How cute is that? This gold gilding, which I love. I love it when things are gilded. Here's the backs. Very simple. Perhaps playing with these will unbow them. Sometimes that works. Unbow. But here is the face card. Let's set that aside. Memento Mori, Latin for remember, you will die. It is often paired with momento vivere, remember to live, or vivir. The concept of memento mori dates back to antiquity, probably most famously introduced in Plato's Phaedo, which recounts the last moments of Socrates' life as he ponders his imminent death. The principle of remembering death appears throughout history in all cultures around the globe, from Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, and the Celtic Samhain and Calaveras of Dia de los Muertos, the artwork of Georgia O'Keeffe, to the words of Odin in the Havamahal Death. After all, is the great equalizer. What happens after death is irrelevant, whether you believe in reincarnation, heaven and hell, or are returning to the soil to nourish the earth. Before that final moment, there is the now. There is only this life, this moment that you are living now, and life is merely the passage of time that ends with death. Acknowledging that fact is freeing. It removes fear of the unknown, allows you to embrace life in the here and now, and increases your confidence in what is uniquely you, that you are not a thing in the process of becoming in the future, but you are fully everything now. This deck can communicate fragility of life, defiance of death, revelry of love, embrace the freedom, or the insignificance of vanity and materialism. Memento Mori is whatever you make it. What do you need to focus on to be here now? The message of Memento Mori is most often communicated through symbols and artistic objects. In classical Memento Mori artworks, you will find skulls, hourglasses, clocks, candles, fruits, and flowers, all the things that symbolize impermanence and the passage of time. Our Memento Mori cards take a different spin on follow one trope only, the skeleton, through mundane moments of the here and now, reminding us to embrace and contemplate the present moment. Sometimes humorous and lighthearted, our skeletons are the perfect purveyors of the message. Neither male nor female, radically and racially invisible, these skeletons are stripped bare to what the core of us all are. These cards are meant as life-affirming messages to seize the day and live each moment to its fullest, to love those around us more deeply, enjoy our work and daily activities more fully, see beauty in all things, and embrace fearlessness as we encounter the unknown. So I don't know about you guys, but there is a lot of uncertainty and unknown going on right now. And I understand uncertainty is a part of life, but it is laid on extra thick now with all these curveballs that the planets have set up for us. And also this new year of the fire horse, where everything that cannot be supported in this structure is falling away. And I believe that has to be a vibration of untruths and lower vibration, technically. And so there's a lot of us that are getting curveballs. A lot of our family members and loved ones are deciding to check out and leave during this time. As this is a part of life, this happens throughout life, right? But as I make this video, this is a current theme and happening in and around me and in the friends around me. So if you are one of those people that fall in that category of losing loved ones recently and just being really unsure of where to go in life and how you're going to proceed, and just being uncertain about what lies ahead for you, take heart, because you are not forgotten, dear one. You are not forgotten, and you are not left behind. There is a plan for you, and you just need to stay inspired and stay in the zone and be ready with your eyes open, and the path will be made available to you. So, with all of that being said, let's check it out. So the universe goes on. The lettering is very tiny, guys, but I love the artwork so far. Count your blessings. I have never seen a baby skull. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think it's adorable. Your body is time. I'm not quite sure how I'll use these. I will definitely have to play with them. Forgive. Feed the future. So this deck does not come with a guidebook. This is based on intuitive reads only. Reflect on your true face. Yeah, what is your true face? Is the ego your true face, or is the soul your true face? Is your identity your true face, or is your heart your true face? Legacy lives on. I take this as taking in knowledge and learning about your ancestors, learning where you came from, learning the people that came before you. Future and past. How would you use these cards, guys? What would you take from future and past? What would you think of that? Write it below in the comments. If you were to receive this card in a reading, what would future past mean to you? Let me hear. I want to hear what you guys think of that. What would this mean? Choice feeds fate. You know, the little choices that we make every day. And in this case, they're showcasing a cigarette. But it can also be other subtle things that you think don't really matter, like how you choose to think about things and the perspective you choose to adopt on something, right? And then you're just coming back to that same perspective that makes you feel junk over and over and over again. Well, what's going to happen, you know? Let it go. So I take this as playfulness. It almost looks like there's a key in her pelvis. Like, I wish I had a magnifying glass. But yeah, that playing can help let things go and fall off and returning to our childlike nature. Rebirth and renewal. Well, this is a good one. We know what that is, right? Pretty easy. For everything, a season. So I take this as a letting go. Man, that's hard. Rise. So they do include animal skulls in here too. Interesting. Enter the unknown. Take that adventure, right? You hold the key. I like it better to say you are the key. That makes more sense to me. And then to go along with this image, like, this is you and you are the key. Oh, this one is one of my favorites. Carry Hope. I love his rainbow umbrella. Ponder karma. Wonder why they chose a doctor to ponder karma. Because a doctor does a lot of good in the world. And a doctor could do a lot of harm in the world if they disobey their oath to do no harm. I'm not sure. Tell me how you guys would take this one in the comments below. Ponder karma. Does karma affect your health? Interesting. Return. Return. Return to ashes, to dust, to dust. That's what I think when I see this. Return to nature. It could just be return to nature, I suppose. Return to your origins. The last one here, accept. Acceptance, there's a letting go in part of acceptance, right? If this Grim Reaper is coming for you or someone you love, there's an acceptance in that, right? Even though we may want to fight it. So I bet you, I have a feeling of this deck is going to be mostly about letting go. It'll be interesting to see how I choose to pair this with any other decks and how they perform with the reading. Do they work great as accent cards? I wasn't really sure. To be quite honest, I think I just got it. I don't even care about using it. Like, I just had to have this little Scully deck because I'm a fan of skulls. All right, as we go through these changes of unknown, which one was this one? Support. Aw, that's what we're doing now, guys. As we're going through these changes in this world, and we know that there are big shifts going around. There may be an audience out there that says, yes, but these big shifts are always going around and it's cyclic. But these are history-making times, and I know they're like, oh, they all say it's history-making times, and I understand that. These are cycles that we're in, and we're in another one, and this is a big one. This is a really big one. This is a big cycle that I feel like hasn't been back around since 1776. So there's some big shifts and changes that are going around, and that are going to need to go around to kind of change the systems that haven't been working for us for quite some time, right? So when that happens, when systems are breaking down, there's a lot of what appears to be chaos. So what can we focus on? And what can we focus on to best navigate these changing times, Spirit? What can we focus on to navigate these changing times? What guidance can you give us to embrace life? To be brave through these unknown times? Let's just pull 3 cards. So we got forgive. I think it's important, yes, to forgive how maybe we have fallen short of our own expectations, how maybe others have disappointed us. And I always feel like forgiveness is forgiving yourself. Yes, you can forgive other people, but there's also a forgiveness of yourself for even allowing yourself to be hurt by them, for even putting yourself in the situation to begin with, for making that judgment call to start with, right? There's a forgiveness that has to start with the self. And when we're moving into uncertainty, this definitely can hang us up, because if we haven't forgiven ourselves from some of the past mistakes we've made, moving in uncertainty is terrifying, because don't you remember the way that it happened last time? It was scary, and this happened, and then you didn't know things and you made this mistake. Well, this is that time to forgive and let go. Forgive the disappointments and forgive that you didn't know what you didn't know then, and you can make different decisions now. And then we got tea first. So I love this one right now, because I'm taking it as, really, guys, during this time, it can feel tumultuous, and like we need to get our grounding and our footing, because it can feel very scattered, right? You can have scattered energy. You can be checking on an email and then answering a text, and then, you know, someone needs your attention because they're pulling at you over here. And did you answer me? I asked you a question. I'm like, oh my God, what did you say? I was answering this email and answering this text and listening to the radio at the same time, or whatever it is, right? We're kind of scattered, and we kind of come from this place when we get in that scattered place that, oh, I need to do everything right now. And it's like, no, you don't actually. What if you just stopped everything and you had a cup of tea, or you had a coffee, or you had some water in a mindful way, or, you know, you're just taking that time to really ground. So I like that. Tea first, before we make any decisions in this undecided place. Let's ground ourselves. And remember, it's not only about grounding, it's nourishing ourselves and doing kind things for ourselves during this time. Not putting those crazy expectations on ourselves to perform or to be or to look a certain way. When you're in times of uncertainty, I feel like softness is called. And then passion burns bright. So what calls to you during this time? And let that be your focus. Let that be your focus during times of uncertainty. What really lights your heart on fire? Because I can tell you right now, as I am facing my uncertainty, I can't tell you the reason why I am reignited in tarot, and I am just re-obsessed with tarot. I feel like it's phase 2 or a leveling up in tarot where I get to expand now, and it feels really fun. So I'm just choosing to focus and follow my own inner light and not question it too much and not get too much in my head of like, oh, why am I getting reignited by this? You know what? I don't know. I'm just going to follow it and see where it goes. Because spirit never leads you on an errant path. So that is Memento Mori, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on this book here. And then we'll see each other, I guess, on the next video, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, wait. Before you leave, I wanted to share one more thing with you. Tarot of the Witch's Garden. This is an update. Tarot of the Witch's Garden. It started off with resistance from me getting this deck because of certain images in here that I had resistance to, which I'm working through now. It's a great opportunity. But what I found, guys, is that it was like a duck to water with this deck. I actually really enjoy this deck. It does feel like coming home in the images. It does feel like a community. It's strange. It just feels like a big story that I'm in, and that these are the characters telling me the story of my life, basically. And I've just really gotten super comfortable with these cards. It was instant. But what I started noticing was, y'all are seeing this chipping over here? You see this? So see this over here? You see that? Let me see if I can get to focus better. Do you see that? This was happening on like day 2 out of the box. Like, what the heck is this? Sorry, it's kind of blurry. Just hold on. You know, like, what is that? And it's happening everywhere in the deck. And so I was confused because I've only ever seen good reviews about this deck. And I was kind of bummed that that was happening because, you know, you can see it here. It's all spotted. And it was spotting the backs white. So this is why I gilded it in green. And I just used my son's Crayola markers. I don't use the washable ones, although I have heard of some people using the washable ones and it works fine. But I just used his Crayola markers to gild the edges of these, and I think it turned out really, really well. Now, I did reach out to Llewellyn and say, hey, I don't know what's going on, but my cards are chipping on the front. What do you have to say? Like, what do you suggest I do, basically? And she was very sweet. She offered to replace the cards that were damaged, but when I explained to her that like all of them are damaged, she kind of mentioned that it must have been a defective deck and that I should probably take it up with Amazon and return it through Amazon. Well, I ended up just buying another deck directly through Llewellyn because she told me if I had bought it through Llewellyn, she could refund the whole deck or send me a new deck. But that because I bought it on Amazon, that wasn't possible. So I just wanted to let you guys know there has been some other issues with this deck in regards to printing and mixing up, I think, Wheel of Fortune and Justice. That has been resolved in the newer decks. But this flaking on the back of the veneer, I hope is a fluke, and I will let you know on the new deck if it's doing the same thing. Most likely, though, because this is one of my ultimate favorite decks, the new deck will just remain in the box, and I will see if it's doing this flaking, and then this will be my workhorse deck. Because also I learned another thing. I have been getting super obsessed with linen cards, and I thought this was a linen card. It's kind of a linen card, but not really. Not in actuality and not in truth. So linen finish on a card, when the deck says linen finish, they're basically taking a typical card stock and then stamping a linen stamp onto it. So it's just to give the appearance of a linen card, but it's actually not, which is kind of what I thought from the beginning. But it's not just to fool you into like to buying these expensive looking cards, right? There's a reason, actually. So these little divots that they put in these cards, these tiny little divots, create tiny little air pockets in the deck. And so when you're shuffling, it has a much lighter feel, and it goes over one another a lot easier. So this deck, that's one of the things about the reviews, the shuffling is a dream, and I'll have to agree with that. So I know I'm a little late to the game on Tarot of the Witch's Garden, but now I'm there. Now I'm on board. I'm loving this deck, and I love everything it has to offer. And you know what? I'm working through the shadow aspects, the parts that I have resistance to. But I do recommend this deck, despite the challenges that I have come across. I mean, like, come on. This is my ultimate favorite card of this whole entire deck. And, like, how can we not with these beautiful, so beautiful. Thanks guys for stopping by. This one is truly the end of this video today. And let me know what you think. Do you own this deck? How do you bond with it? Did you notice chipping on the veneer on the back? Let me know. Are you going to try this book out? What do you think about tarot for self-love? All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.